There is a science festival happening next week in Inishowen. In fact, it's Inishowen's inaugural science festival. It's called Gríosadh, and it's been put together by Spraoí, agus, Spórt. And Carlene Lyttle is the business development and innovation lead with Spraoí, agus, Spórt, and is here in the studio to tell us a bit about this festival, a science festival, which is great. The first one for Inishowen, so it's great. How did the idea come about?
Well, in the Digital Creative Lab in Spraoí, we have been doing events for Science Week, which is usually on around November, and is a...
this ties in with Science Week.
This is it. So Science Foundation Ireland, which are now known as Research Ireland, have a national week to promote science.
Right.
And we have been doing events with, our local community and with the schools that we work with and with the Digital Creative Lab for the last couple of years. And this year we were lucky enough to be chosen as one of the 33 events nationwide that will have support from Research Ireland to be able to do a festival. So this festival is now grown in ambition and in size. So our aim for this festival is to try and showcase how the science and technology that we promote in the Digital Creative Lab can help us to be a growing and sustainable rural community in Inishowen and wider Donegal.
So how it's relevant really in a as you say, growing and rural community.
Yes, how it's relevant in the theme this year for Science Week, they have a theme. Science Foundation Ireland or Research Ireland have a theme every year, and this year it's regeneration.
Okay.
With the focus on generation. So what they wanted us to do was bring to the community learnings that we can take from our past and, our traditions and our heritage, and how we can use them to address some of the issues that we're going to be facing in the future to become a growing and vibrant community.
Yeah. Okay, so how science and technology can fit in with all of that.
Yeah.
Right, well, there's not that many, or not too many events, I should say, so let's just run down through them, shall we? It's on next Monday through to Sunday. So on Monday, Monday after...
It starts on Sunday, the 10th.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay, Sunday. I'm sorry, I had Monday down here. My mistake. So starts on Sunday and gets underway with...
Yes, we have the Regeneration Day in Carndonagh.
Okay.
So this is our family friendly day. We are inviting people down to Carndonagh to see the different things that we're doing in a very hands-on with experiments and demonstrations. How we in Spraoí and how other groups like the Changemakers Donegal and how Inishowen Rivers Trust are working to address some of the challenges that we face, like energy generation, resource management, technology and computers. So
almost like an open day.
Yes, so we'll show people our Digital Creative Lab. We'll have hands-on experiments with things like Lego Spike, which uses robotics. We'll have experiments in generating your own energy. We'll have our Circular Economy Hub, which shows how we are taking resources and putting them back into the economy to make them, to regenerate the resources that we have. We'll be looking at sustainable building practices and, how we can address the challenge of climate crisis, like flooding, for example, which is very
topical at the moment.
Through more sustainable drainage practices and building. Again, it's all made to be accessible by making it with hands-on kind of demonstrations and experiments that people can come and kind of engage with.
Even if you're not into science or technology, it just sounds like a great community day.
Definitely. The 2 days that I would ask people to look at: the Regeneration Day in Carndonagh on the 10th, and then the Innovation Day on Saturday the 16th of November, which is going to be at the National Fisheries College in Greencastle.
All right, and the focus there will be?
So the Fisheries College is such a great resource that we have, but people come from all over the country to access it. But if you ask people in Inishowen, a lot of people haven't been inside.
And wouldn't know much about it.
But actually, when we went to visit it, and we've been really lucky that they've given us the run of the place for the 16th of November, and they have got so many learning classrooms with different disciplines. So you go there now, if you're going to be a skipper of a ship, you'll have to know how to work hydraulics. You'll have to know how to communicate with satellites. You'll have to know how to like fix an engine. And so
you'll need to know a lot about science and technology, even if you mightn't have thought so. You might have thought it was just all about sticking a net out the back and catching fish.
Yes, and then on top of that, they have state-of-the-art simulation for the boats. They've got a fantastic setup where they teach their future skippers to how to pilot skipper a boat into Greencastle itself with a simulation setup. So we're getting the
equivalent of sort of a trainee pilot getting behind the controls.
Exactly, all in Greencastle, and all available for the public to come and take a look. And then on that same day, we have taken that opportunity to get we have got some international experts in their fields who come from Inishowen. So we have Gary O'Donnell, who's the head of new aircraft at Airbus in Toulouse, Dr. Sarah McCormick, who's the head of environmental engineering at Trinity, Fergal Bradley from Mount Belly Agricultural College, who are all going to give a talk just on the sort of the cutting edge in their particular fields, emphasising, the farming and fishing and building traditions that we have, and then showing in how technology and science is, impacting them.
To gather up quite a few experts for the day, which is brilliant. So that's happening Saturday week. Saturday the 16th,
So Saturday week. So we've got
College in Greencastle.
Yeah, and then we've got an eco day with an ecologist well known to your Highland Radio listeners, Angus Kennedy.
Oh yeah,
he's yes, exactly. And you know how engaging he is. Well, he's going to be taking us in a bus around to some of our the Sharagore wetlands in just outside Buncrana, and the Inch Wildfowl Reserve, just to show.
A place that's close to his heart. Well, both places probably is, but he chats a lot about Inch
because they are so important for the the impact that they're going to have on our sustainability. The ability to address the climate crisis. So wetlands and everything like that is going to be so important for us. So Angus is going to lead us on that, and we've got
he's a tour guide.
Well, he's an eco tour guide.
That's happening on the Sunday.
And that's happening on Sunday, the 17th of November. Okay. And there are another couple of events that are going on with Changemakers Donegal on Wednesday. In the II in Buncrana, is
that the don't jump like an elephant, run like one?
That's
what is that? What does that allude to?
That is first we want to get people who are interested in a whole range of things. So we've got a big sports side of our community. So we want to show how technology, and in this case augmented reality, is being used by sports people to try and reduce their risk of injury. So we have got an expert who's coming up from Sligo who's developing a software that will give real-time corrections to runners so they can reduce their risk of putting pressures to reduce their risk of injury.
Sounds fascinating.
Well, hopefully, it will be. So the point was really to have like a range of events that would speak to lots of different people, and we have working on this Deirdre McGrory and Anya Kelly, who are in the Digital Creative Lab, and neither of them would see themselves as particularly science driven, but they have created this program of events to try and get as many people, a wider community, just so they can see that there may be something there that interests you. The meaning, Gríosadh, is to be excited or sparked by something. So that's what we were trying to try and put together a festival that will spark something in somebody. So, if you have even the slightest bit of interest, come along and, you can see what you'll find.
Well, you've gathered up quite a cast for the week, and plenty of events in there, and in a good variety. Everything from demos and workshops to an eco tour and talks by experts and so on. So where can people get more information? Bear in mind, this isn't this week; it's next week. But where can people get more info?
Science Week runs from the 10th to the 17th of November, and all of our events are, we need registration just so we can manage the numbers. So if you go onto the Spraoí Spórt website, which is spraoiagussport.ie, you'll see a button there that will take you to the registration forms for all of our different events. Also, if you follow us on social media, you'll be able to get a brochure which give detail about the different events, about the accessibility for the events. On the Regeneration Day, for example, we're having a quiet hour for people who maybe don't like crowds, who want to come along and still get involved. But so you'll find all those details, the practical details, on the brochure and on the Spraoí agus Spórt.ie website.
Innovative and forward thinking, as always. We would expect nothing less from Spraoí agus Spórt. So the best of luck with it. It is the Gríosadh Festival happening next week. More details on your website or your socials. Carlene, thank you.
Thank you very much.